Good evening and welcome to Estuary TV News. I'm Hugh Richards. Tonight I'll be joined by Daphne Farquharson and Paul Rowe of Grimsby Town Disabled Supporters Club, and we'll have a preview of a new exhibition of art in Cleethorpes. But first, the news headlines with James Dunn.
Hello, in the headlines today, businesses and residents are counting the cost of this weekend's flash flooding, and police want help to find a man wanted in connection with a murder in Bridlington. But first, a local civic society has criticised private owners who let classic buildings go to ruin after a Grimsby landmark was gutted by fire at the weekend. Humberside Fire and Rescue rushed to the blaze at the former Grimsby Art School on Eleanor Street, which has been closed since the mid-90s. The fire service said the second floor was completely destroyed. But it's led to criticism of the owners, from Martin Turner of the Grimsby Cleethorpes and District Civic Society, who said the building was already derelict after being allowed to deteriorate over a number of years.
Our concern is not just with heritage but with the total ambience of the town, Grimsby, Cleethorpes, Immingham, etc. But it is important to maintain or look after these buildings, because unfortunately in Grimsby we have very, very few buildings of note that it is owned by somebody offshore, and that has created problems in getting in contact with the owner, because concerns have been expressed by ourselves and other people. It has been in the Grimsby Telegraph about the state of repair. It's extremely difficult when you can't really get in contact with the owner, and that's the big problem.
Detectives searching for a man in connection with a murder in Bridlington are now investigating in Rotherham and Mexborough after a number of sightings. John Heald from South Yorkshire is wanted in connection with the murder of Bay Carter, the landlady of the Morayland Hotel, where she was found dead just before midnight on Friday. Heald, 53, is wanted for at least one other serious crime in South Yorkshire, and Detective Superintendent Matthew Hutchinson, leading the search, described him as a dangerous man. There have now been sightings in Mexborough and Rotherham, but police have renewed their plea locally for help from the public, saying his arrest is a matter of urgency. Flash floods haven't dampened the spirits of people and businesses in Grimsby, who are getting on with it after the unusually heavy rainfall this weekend. Thunderstorms hit various UK towns and cities, and Humberside Fire and Rescue were forced to attend dozens of incidents when the storms hit our area on Sunday. There were call-outs from everything from blazes caused by flooded electricals to people stuck in their cars because of flooded roads. Rainfall hit the Grimsby and Cleethorpes area in the early hours of Sunday, and Market Wheaton on the North Bank was badly affected later that evening. But we spoke to some people in the Cromwell Road area of Grimsby who were determined not to be put out by the flooding.
Well, basically Sunday morning about 5:30, just a big deluge, and it just came straight through. We had to take all the tiles up because it's totally flooded. They'd have to dry out, and then hopefully we'll put them back down again. Or, you know, might have to get new tiles. So, yeah, it's not a very good situation at all.
As for flooding, well, it'll happen. It's going to happen, I'm sure it is. It can happen any time, summer, winter, you know, I don't think there's any time scale for it.
A housing and homelessness charity has seen a 76% rise in the number of people from our region struggling to pay for their homes. Shelter has put out an urgent call for support for the helpline because of a huge increase in the Yorkshire and Humber over the last 2 years. The charities say it reflects the growing number of people living on a financial knife edge, facing a constant battle to keep up with the housing costs. A 21-year-old man had his nose and jaw broken in a serious assault in the middle of the afternoon on Friday. Police are looking for witnesses to the incident at 2 p.m. on Victor Street in Hull. One of the last frontline units to leave Afghanistan will return to a special welcome home reception in Cleethorpes tomorrow. Almost 300 soldiers from the 2nd Battalion of the Royal Anglian Regiment will parade through the resort with a flyover from 2 Tornado jets and a Chinook helicopter. Local photographers with nearly 200 years of experience put their exhibition on show yesterday. The F4 group have been taking pictures together for decades, and the 4 of them look forward to the competitive edge of putting their pictures on display at Cleethorpes Library every year.
We only do it purely as amateurs, and it's something that we've enjoyed doing. It's a competition amongst us to produce the best stuff that we possibly can. And we've been doing it, well, overall for probably 180, 200 years between the four of us.
Well, that's all from me. Bye for now.
Like the Royal Academy, Thrunscoe Community Art in Cleethorpes hangs a summer exhibition every year. Dave Nunn is our connoisseur.
Art by the community, for the community. That's the theme from a group of art learners at Thrunscoe Adult Learning Centre in Cleethorpes.
It's such a varied exhibition. We've got work from the textile students, so lots of lovely embroidery, painting and drawing, mixed media art and design, photography. We've got work from young people that come into the centre and positive steps work. So we've had a very successful course that we've named our very own sewing bee, and there'll be lots of work from that particular course and also some bookmaking. So it's a really lovely varied exhibition.
Their art exhibition combines art made by the group through the exchange of creative ideas. Learners say that this, combined with creating new friendships, is a central theme to the group.
And working in an environment like this with other interested, enthusiastic and like-minded people is a superb way we feed off each other's creativity. We absolutely revel in each other's work, and at this time of the year, with the exhibition coming up and the work that you're seeing on the tables are either complete or nearly complete, not in my case I might add, then it is a lovely time.
For others, they use the group as an opportunity to show off their creative talents to their families and friends by making artistic gifts for them.
I think it's stimulating, you know, as you get older. I think when you retire from work, you do need something to stimulate you. And this, it's not only the pleasure you get from achieving something that you didn't know you could do, but it's also the pleasure it gives other people.
For their teacher, Jan Dowson, it's all about the learners gaining the confidence and experience to show off their work to the public.
You know, they put out all their sketchbooks, so you know, they allow the public to see all of the work that they've done. It's an opportunity for them to have a sort of celebration with their family and friends, but it's also really great to sort of build their confidence. And some learners that are working at a higher level are maybe thinking about social enterprise and maybe beginning to think about selling and exhibiting work. So this is a really good opportunity for them to hang their work.
I'm joined by Daphne Farquharson and Paul Rowe from Grimsby Town Disabled Supporters Club, which is celebrating its 35th year this summer. Daphne, Paul, welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Paul, you're the Disabled Supporters Club treasurer.
That's right, yes.
How many members do you have? How many people do you support?
Well, we have about 15 regulars. Depending on how things are going, it can go up to almost a full coach full of maybe 40 people. And
by how things are going, you mean how the Mariners are doing?
That's right, yes.
Okay. Daphne, it's coming up to 35 years. That's quite an institution, a local institution. How long have you been involved?
I got involved because my husband and I came to live here from Portsmouth and decided we wanted a hobby for my son who was disabled, and we found that we'd taken him to the football match and he liked it so much we decided to try and start a new club for the away matches. And the actual day we were having it founded, we had the newspaper man coming around to talk to us about it. I was rushed to Portsmouth because my father had been taken ill, and so my husband had to take my son to the match, and on the way to the match he collapsed and died in the street. And it was such a shock, and I had all that to go through. But later in the year I thought I must do something about this. And
the great support that the Supporters Club provides is transport to away matches, I take
yes,
it.
but we're nothing to do with Grimsby Town. We go to the home matches and they supply the facilities there, but we are an independent club, you see. I often regret that a little bit. Perhaps it would be nice if we were all completely part of Grimsby Town. It would be rather nice.
Well, Paul, is there any chance of that? Is there any sort of closer association that the Supporters Club or the Disabled Supporters Club could have with the football club?
It would be nice to think so, especially now that we've got trust members on the board. Maybe that will come. Let's hope so.
It might happen. Yeah, I think it would be rather nice, because most of the clubs we go to, they've got their own disabled think we're about the only one that's completely separate, you know.
Your numbers are dwindling a little bit from a
Well,
coach
they
load
have
to
done,
half
yes,
a
they
coach
have
load.
done, that's right.
Why is that? What's cutting down the
It's
numbers?
because of the league we're in, basically.
And also we lose
and
people.
also it is difficult getting to a lot of the smaller clubs.
So the Grimsby Town is in the conference at the moment.
That's right, yes.
And you had more people wanting to go to the away matches when they were higher up in the
That's
table.
right, and of course you go to much better stadiums in the Football League, of course.
And the conference venues, the away match venues tend to be further away?
They seem to be mostly southern based, yes. There's, you know, Dover's,
Portsmouth. Well, we used to go to Portsmouth, we used to go to most of those. The only one we never went to was Manchester United, wasn't it, really? So we have been to all the big clubs in the
Does
past.
this suggest that southern football clubs just aren't as good as northern football
Well, I'm
clubs?
from this.
it just seems to be the way it goes.
How does the Disabled Supporters Club raise money? How's it paid?
Well, it's mainly letters I write and people we talk to and ask them if they like to support us, you know.
Well, and first of all, how much does it cost to get to a match?
Individually.
The coaches, it depends on the distance we go. If we do go down to one of the southern clubs, you can expect to pay around about £1,000 for a coach.
And how do you raise this money? You say you were
Well,
be
write
writing
begging
letters,
letters, you know, that's what they call them, begging letters, you know. And we had, I say, one of the sponsors, he sponsored us for 15 years, which was a great help. I didn't say the name, wasn't sure if I was supposed to, but and also when you go, you don't just turn up, you've got to get in touch with them first. And I don't say, can we come? I just say, we're coming, we're coming. But you have to do that. It's a sad thing, really. You should be able to just go. And then sometimes they used to say, well, I don't know if we got room, and they making excuses. They used to.
And Paul, you tend to be doing this for many more years, I take it.
I beg pardon?
You tend to be doing this for many more years.
As long as they want me to, I'll be happy to do it. Yes. We hope that we're going to get promoted this season, and then things will kick off again. I'm sure it will.
Paul, Daphne, thank you both very much for coming in. After that sporting story, here is Dan Kent with all the rest of the sports news.
Thank you, Hugh. Hull City are apparently keen to renew their interest in Tottenham Hotspur left full-back Danny Rose. The Tigers were reportedly interested in the former England under-21 international earlier in the summer, but it appears Steve Bruce is keen to revive his pursuit of the player. Next up, North Ferriby United's squad is almost in place for the coming season. Pre-season began a few weeks ago for the side that missed out on promotion to the Blue Square Premier Division last term from the Blue Square North in the playoffs, and club manager Billy Heath is excited about the prospect of his new squad, including the key capture of Adam Boulder. The former Hull City, Derby County, QPR and Sheffield Wednesday man left Harrogate at the end of the season.
I played lots and lots of league games at the top level, so he's come in, he's got massive experience, he's 33 now, he's got great experience, but what he has got is desire. And his desire is still really good, as you can see from the pre-season games. He's done really, really well. His control games, the midfield three, whatever we've put out of all, you know, we've controlled the games, and he's a big part of that. And he just gives us massive quality, and he scores goals as well. Anthony Wilson, Ryan Kendall, both left the club. Paul Robson's left the club as well. Danny Clark, through work commitments, has left the club. That's where we're at the minute, and obviously incoming Dan Clayton, Tom Denton and Adam Boulder have come into the football club.
And finally, in Super League, Hull FC lost 56 points to 10 at Wigan on Friday night, and Hull KR lost 38-18 at home to the Salford Red Devils on Sunday. Unfortunately, that's all the sport we've got for you this time. Back to you, Hugh.
And thank you, Dan. That's all we have time for tonight, I'm afraid. If you have a story for us, please email news@estuary.tv or contact us via our Twitter or Facebook pages, or give us a call on the phone on 01472 315561. Until next time, goodbye.